Do 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 do.
And we open our main event now with a guest who's very, very important to us here in Australia, because what he does so well in Australia, he's now doing in America, and that is entertaining people. And this bloke has done more to encourage an interest in science than any science teacher I can think of. And despite his mane of orange hair that looks as if it was achieved with a well-placed finger in a light bulb, everybody loves Yahoo Serious.
You see, I think that if we could control the ionizing radiation of the spontaneous disintegration of uranium isotopes, we could harness the forces of nature.
Splitting atoms.
You've heard of this theory to split the nucleus of an atom?
I've split one once.
You've already split the atom.
Well, it was only a Tasmanian beer atom.
But
That one atom was enough to blow the old man shed apart.
Oh, really?
atomic power. C'est incroyable. Oh, you must tell me more about your research. Oh, but first, let me introduce myself. My name is Marie Curie.
Albert Einstein.
Yeah. Ah, it's beautiful to see that again. A clip, of course, from Young Einstein, starring Yahoo Serious. And ladies and gentlemen, waiting for us in our Hollywood studios, please welcome Yahoo Serious. Right. Hello to you, Yahoo. How are you?
G'day, Bert. I was a bit worried. I've never bounced off a satellite before. I thought it might hurt, but I'm feeling okay.
You're bouncing very good in the early moments of this chat together. Yahoo, it's great to see you. And it was beautiful to see a clip then from Young Einstein. It did great business over here in Australia. How's it going stateside?
Well, it's going pretty good, Bert. I was a little bit worried when I called back home to my mum because she said that, you know, that all this press had come out that we'd got bad reviews. And actually, none of the good ones got back there. We got some staggeringly good reviews, you know, 4 stars, and you know, there was a number of them that said we were the best movie of the year. So I wish all of that stuff would have got back there too, just to balance it off. But the movie's going well. In the first weekend, it actually made its entire production budget back. So, you know, we're kind of like over the moon.
Yep, Yahoo, I'm very pleased to hear you say that, because the reports back here have been that it hasn't done all that well at the box office, but you personally have done tremendously well on the talk circuit. So I'm pleased to know the movie's gone well too.
Oh yeah, it's been pretty wild going on all these shows, Bert, because I've never been on television before, and I really take my hat off to you. You know, you really have to keep the stuff going, so it's been amazing, really.
Didn't you do television here in Australia?
No, I've never done any television at all. It was strange, and in fact, MTV is a major network here in the United States, and they actually even gave me my own show. So I had to write and direct and act in my own comedy show, in my own comedy series, which was 8 one-hour comedy specials. So that was quite bizarre as well.
Right, and you enjoyed television?
Yeah, and they told me I doubled their ratings too, so I don't know what's going on, you know? Yeah, I do. I enjoy it.
What you've got to find out is what the ratings were before you came on.
Yeah, well, they told me I doubled them.
Well, that's terrific. I also heard, just while Sylvie was singing and I was having a little eavesdrop down the line, you were telling someone that you've been in Africa with your wife Lulu.
Yeah, well, big things happened in January. You know, I was in Africa, and I rang home, and Dad said that I was on the cover of Time magazine in Australia, and I got married in January, and of course the Bert Newton Show started in January. It was a big month, right?
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, indeed. So what were you doing in Africa? Honeymooning or something?
Yeah, we started off with like a parody of a honeymoon at Niagara Falls. We went to Victoria Falls for our honeymoon, and then we went whitewater rafting down the crocodile-infested Zambezi River, and I nearly lost Lulu in the first few days of our marriage, so it was a bit wild. Then we went all over Kenya. We went to visit the wild apes in Rwanda. There was a girl from Melbourne who was a friend of ours who in fact was running the farm where Diane Fossey was, and we went to visit her. Then we went down the Nile River, so it's been pretty wild. Then we came to America, which is the craziest of it all. You know?
Yahoo,
and now Hollywood.
What did the apes think of you?
Well, I don't know. Maybe the haircut's similar, I'm not sure. The intelligence is probably about the same, you know.
Yahoo, over there in America, obviously you'd be a little homesick, but Do you find that that is the capital of the world so far as entertainment is concerned? If you can make it there, you'll make it anywhere?
I think the whole world's a global community, Bert. I sort of really have seen, you know, Young Einstein play the same in Australia and the same in America. In different parts of America, it plays completely differently. I mean, I got an award at Harvard for excellence in comedy when we screened it there. They got the kind of intellectual side of it, and you know, I'd find in Hollywood all the film buffs would get all the film references, and out in the heartland of America, they'd identify with this country character, you know, Albert Einstein, in the same way as country people did in Australia. So I found that it touches chords pretty well the same everywhere, which I set out to do. I always loved Chaplin and Keaton, and I love our comedic traditions in Australia, and I always felt that they all sort of address the same sort of stuff.
Yeah. Yahoo, just explain to us once again how Young Einstein came about.
Well, this is good if my mum's listening, because she cooked for the crew when we first started, and you know, I had to scrape a whole lot of money together to actually buy the first film. I sold my car. So it started as a very small film. It wasn't always this extravaganza that everybody ended up seeing in Australia, and Warner Brothers weren't always involved with it to allow me to finish it in the way that I did. But it was sort of one of those films that was made more with love than money, I guess, and it's sort of like the movie itself. In the movie, Albert Einstein, you know, sort of triumphs and shows that, you know, you can come from nowhere and do something, and I guess the movie shows that, because there's a whole new wave of people, a whole new wave of talent was born from Young Einstein for the Australian film industry, and I guess you know, the film industry was started with guys like Peter Weir and stuff, and I guess we're the second wave of people to come along. I'm really proud of that.
Yahoo, staying there in Hollywood and being feted by the bigwigs of that glamorous city, have you been in awe at all?
Well, it's been a little bit reversed around, Bert, and it's really hard to cope with. In America, there's a lot of idolatry and that sort of stuff, which we have a wonderful egalitarian society in Australia, and everyone's about the same, you know, and I sort of just come from the Hunter Valley in New South Wales, and, you know, I just sort of went surfing and all that sort of stuff, so I don't really understand all that, you know, limo trip and people kind of coming up to get autographs. It's been very strange. You know, I went up to the comedy festival in Montreal, and Young Einstein was the film of the festival, and I just walked into the main auditorium. Everyone stood up, and I got a standing ovation. They threw the spotlight onto me, and I'd just been in Atlanta, and I signed autographs for an hour and a half at a ball game down there, and then I walked away from the line of 2,000 people all waiting for my autograph. So it's a very... Fame over here is a very, very strange thing, and this was all before I was a movie star, before my movie was released, so I don't really understand it all here. You know?
How was that done? By very good promotion, was it?
Well, what happened, I think the same thing happened in Australia. People were very interested in the story behind the film. You know, wasn't just that I was an actor that had a part, but you know, I was on the Amazon River and saw a T-shirt with a picture of Albert Einstein on, and came up with the idea, and then I struggled to make it. And you know, we brought together a couple of thousand Australian artists, and it was one of the very few films to be made, you know, completely with Australians. We didn't import anybody, and you know, we were kind of like proud of all that whole side of things, and I think it transferred to the Americans. They saw this parallel, I guess, in the story, in the film, and in our lives in making it.
Sure. Yahoo, I'm not too sure what it is, but I'm told that when you leave our Hollywood studios, you've got a very important engagement to fulfil.
Yeah, there's been a lot of excitement throughout the world with Young Einstein. They've had a screening in Japan without even the subtitles on the movie, and it's been really favourably received over there. They love Einstein there, and they love gadgets, and apparently they're pretty wild about the haircut over there and the whole thing, and they love all the Australiana in the film. So the Japanese have related fairly strongly. But they've had another screening which I heard about in London, and they brought all the European people across, and they love actor, writer, directors. They've always responded very strongly there. So it appears that people react to the film in different ways in different parts of the world. So in a couple of minutes, I'm off to a press screening of Young Einstein and a press conference, and there'll be 500 foreign press members there. So it's kind of amazing. I've never talked to you know, more than 6 people at once, and since I've come to America, there's been this sort of amazing interest in the whole thing. So it's been pretty phenomenal. I mean, if Albert looks pretty wide-eyed at the end of Young Einstein, then you probably see that, you know, in my life at the moment.
Well, Yahoo, not only your mum and your dad, but we're all very proud of you. And you mentioned before you haven't done much television. Today you've done a superb job. Satellite time is almost out, but quite frankly, I could sit here and watch your hair all day.
And I could watch yours too, Bert.
Good on you, as it depletes. All the best to you, Yahoo, and have a great day.
Thanks very much, Bert.
In our Hollywood studios, Yahoo Serious. A lovely guy, cute boy. And it's fantastic what he's done with his, with that movie of his, as he mentioned. He had to collect the money himself to get people interested, and he's done it. One out, and good luck to him.